The award that I created was the Bruce Bethke Cyberpunk Award. But what is cyberpunk? Cyberpunk is a subgenre of science fiction that focuses on the darker aspects of what our futures might hold. Often mixing humans and machines, the cyberpunk genre often takes us on a roller coaster of dark societies, man battling machines, and the underdog saving the day. The protagonist is often someone who embraces technology, such as a computer hacker. Cyberpunk literature is often set in the near future and tackles darker themes, such as one dominant society and the outcast sub-society. Bruce Bethke is a Minnesota author best known for his science fiction short stories. Bethke coined the phrase cyberpunk with his 1983 short story titled Cyberpunk. Head Crash and Rebel Moon are both science fiction novels showing his strong ties to the cyberpunk genre that he has since published. The first honor book that I selected was Charles Stross's Halting State. The novel was published in 2007 and it is about a cybercrime that was committed in a virtual reality. The story is told from the perspective of three main characters: Sue, the detective, Elaine, the fraudulent investigator, and Jack, the complicated programmer. The book is told from the three different points of view, but eventually the multiple stories come together in the end for a dramatic conclusion. The second honor book that I chose was Kiln People by David Brin. Imagine for that one day you can send a claymation of yourself to do your tedious errands or sit in on that boring meeting. In David Brin's Kiln People, he makes that wish a reality. Dittos are the clever name for your duplicate clay self. Albert Morris is a detective who uses dittos all the time. Detective Morris is able to inload the memories of his dittos to help him solve crimes. The sci-fi cyberpunk novel was published in 2002. The third honor book that I chose is The Moon is a Harsh Mistress by Robert Heinlein. The story follows a revolution on the lunar colonies against Earth authority. The lunar colony was originally a penal colony, but even though the lunar residents, or loonies as they call themselves, are no longer technically prisoners, they have become economic slaves of the Earth. Also, because of their adaptation to the moon's lower gravity, they cannot safely return to live on Earth, so their exile is a permanent one. Amidst growing but unorganized discontent amongst the loonies, four remarkable individuals begin the meticulous planning of a revolution to free the moon. Manny, an engineer and the narrator, Professor De La Paz, Furier Wyoming Wyonaut, and a newly supercomputer named Mike. Starting from this small group, the resistance spreads across the moon. But how can the nearly defenseless colonists and miners face down the juggernaut of the nations of Earth? Mike has an ingenious solution. Throw rocks at him, literally. The fourth honor book that I chose was Snow Crash by Neil Stevenson. Snow Crash is about hero protagonist, a pizza delivery guy who collects information for the Central Intelligence Corporation. As a freelancer, Horatio witnesses a crime while interacting with other people in the meta-universe or virtual reality. Hero would be considered a computer hacker. This book is often reviewed as being funny, even though the vision of the future is very dark. The characters in the novel are colorful and creative. Hero stumbles upon a worldwide conspiracy that leads him on a dark but hilarious journey throughout the metaverse. Sky Village by Monk and Nigel Ashland is the novel that I chose for the Bruce Bethke Cyberpunk Award. The story takes place in a floating village above the ruined China. 12-year-old Mai Long is the protagonist in this novel. Mai is alone in the floating village because her father sent her there when her mother was kidnapped. Living among strangers in the Sky Village is hard for Mai Long, but she soon discovers she is connected to Ram via a journal. Ram lives half a world away in a beast-controlled Las Vegas. When his sister is kidnapped by a demonic creature, he must travel into the shadowy underworld. The journals also reveal that each of them carries the strange and terrifying Chimera gene. This is a book one of a 5-part series.